Ayy, look, yeah, ayy. I'm in the lab like Dexter, brand new batch he tested. I'm with all the extras, don't try and bitch, I'm pressure. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers. I'm the type to step on steppers, I'm the type to step on steppers.
Stay on the topic of, the AFC, and we'll talk about the Miami Dolphins for a little bit. Obviously, they got a very, very solid win against the New England Patriots, but that was expected. Once again, sweeping the New England Patriots for another year in a row. But the narrative surrounding the Miami Dolphins as of late has always been, it's been pretty much these guys just aren't able to beat contending teams. 2 weeks ago, we saw them on Sunday night lose to the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts. And obviously, we talked about them getting their chests kicked in by Josh Allen. How serious of a contender are the Miami Dolphins? Are we sitting here taking them seriously, or are these guys just, obviously they're just going to be a playoff team, but they're not going to really make any noise when the time comes?
The offense is like that, man. No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, you already know, like, you guys can already guess what I'm gonna say about Tua. Like,
man. That offense is
you guys know what I'm gonna say about Tua.
I think everybody on their offense was like a 4-2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they even picked up Chase Claypool, but like, they didn't even need dude. They just added him to offense.
They're trying to have him run tight end.
They got dudes like Braxton Berrios, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson. There's a bunch of fast dudes on that roster, but like, I think their offense is like that. They're able to get into shootouts, but like I said, like, I wouldn't say Tua is 100% of a system quarterback, but when I look at a quarterback like him, I don't see a guy that's going to be able to make plays, have that wow factor, that it factor, like a Joe Burrow, a Justin Herbert, or a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson. Like, I just don't see that when it comes to Tua. In that Eagles game, he had his moments, but they had one offensive touchdown that entire game. Like, that's for a Dolphins offense that's considered explosive, and against a Philadelphia secondary that's been struggling because of injuries, that's unacceptable. Like, one offensive touchdown, that's it. And then you go back before that against the Bills, they got destroyed. Like, people can talk about, well, they had double digits, they still scored 20. They got demolished. If the Bills were complete control of that game. So for me, it's like, do I believe Tua can be that type of quarterback where he can engage in shootouts with, or he can compete with a guy like those elite guys? I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to be, that type of creator where I feel comfortable enough going into the playoffs where Tua can lead me to a Super Bowl. I just don't see it.
So, I mean, for me, I was going to basically kind of – my bad. Let me say something. So, for me, I think basically, like, the way they were getting attested, or basically people were having opinions on them, was the Bills game, right? Am I yes or wrong, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're
so
right.
The thing about the Bills game is they're running their a DB1 as Eli Apple. Like, that's crazy. Now they're getting Xavier Howard back. They're getting Jalen Ramsey back. I want to see them play the top teams with those guys, and see the top wide receivers try them. So I feel like they weren't playing teams at their full capacity, to be honest. So
100%.
We got to see the Dolphins at full capacity, in my opinion.
I feel like they faced the Eagles not at full capacity. The Eagles were missing a bunch of starting cornerbacks and stuff like that, and they got cooked by the Eagles.
Vice versa. That's true too.
That's another team that it's the elite playoff team, elite team that we hold high regards for, a top probably 3 or 4 team in the NFL right now.
Am I not wrong about the Bills game though? They're running Eli Apple against Stephon Diggs. That's crazy. Like, come on now.
Had his best game of the season, man.
He had like 130.
The opposite side, their defense is missing 7 or 8 guys. Their defense was missing Von Miller. Their defense was missing the start. What was their linebacker name again? Matt McClellan.
Matt Milano.
All these guys, all their star safeties were injured. It's no difference. You come to the field hurt. If you're gonna pull the excuse card, everybody can do the same. And they just got tapped against the Bills. I ain't gonna lie. You dropped 71.
But that was the sole premise of why they lost, though. Literally, Stephon Diggs was like cooking a rookie.
It was 20 points they only scored. They dropped 70 the week before, and then they came down to earth the next week.
All right.
I mean, I think what Bandit's trying to say is that the Dolphins could have had you out there, and you would have done a better job than Eli Apple. That's what he's trying to say.
I don't know why.
But y'all talk about this offense though.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Josh Allen threw 4 touchdown passes. Where's your response? Come on. Where's your response?
Come on, they're cooking like that at home. Like obviously, like the momentum's on their side. It's
a divisional game. People gotta take that into account as well.
Divisional games are always giving excuses for divisional games now, right? We're giving
divisional games are always.
My opinion on the Dolphins is they're not at full capacity. That was my opinion, and I'm right about that.
Bills wasn't at full capacity either.
Yo,
I'll tell you one thing. Abdi, hold on.
Supposed to have some shade for divisional games, though.
One second, Abdi, I got something for you. Right, the Bills weren't at full capacity, but the Bills have had their best defensive player of this season on the field. And you guys can disagree or agree, but
that's
I think
Matt Milano. He was hurt that game.
Bernard
White's out too.
No, Matt Milano was their best defensive player.
Bernard has been playing the best for them this season.
Matt Milano has been their best defensive player. No. There's a reason he's a defensive captain.
And I'll tell you this.
When did Milano get injured, though? That's my question. I swear, I thought it was a Giants game.
I don't watch them enough to tell you that.
I'm going back to the game right now.
We can go ahead and we're going to fact check that.
I can tell you this to pick back off of what Banda said. Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey will be the Waddle and Tyreek of that defense, basically. Like that team at his
Milano did get hurt the Giants.
I just want to say Milano did play. He did play in this game.
He played against him.
We got him. Look at
the stats also.
Thought I was tripping, man.
Who is leading their defense? It was Bernard. I think Bernard had an interception that game, right?
Fumble.
Something like that, yeah.
Recovery fumble.
Something like that.
Micah Hyde had the pick.
Micah Hyde had an interception, right? But I'm saying Miami at its full capacity could be.
Their offense was full capacity. Why couldn't they score more than
Xavier Howard? And they had Jalen Phillips didn't play against the Bills. Did he or did he not?
Oh yeah.
What was Tua's response?
Crucial player on the edge.
What was Tua's response in that game?
I get it. I get it. But look at my team. Look at my team.
We're not talking about the Steelers.
Look at my team.
We're not talking about a conversation right now.
Listen. We can be down 21-0, right? Our defense will get 3 stops in a row, put us in great position, and next thing you know, the game is 24-21.
Yeah,
you can take a nap. Steelers down 21-0.
You gotta let them know this, man. It's complimentary football.
So you're telling me that with players like Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey and Jalen Phillips,
like I said, Tua, he gets punched in the mouth. He doesn't know how to respond. That happened against the Bills.
But think about that. The games, bro. Look at the game summary, though. The game summary for the Bills that game was score. There was no punts, bro. There was no punts. You gotta play complimentary football.
He got tired at halftime.
I gotta add this.
31-14 at halftime. He only scored 2 touchdowns.
So you're telling me you're a Seattle fan, right? Your defense is really good. You got Spoon. You got a whole bunch of guys down there, right? You guys play complimentary football. You guys get stops. You get the ball back for Gino to execute and get and score. Dolphins defense wasn't doing that. Come on now. Yeah,
they can't score.
Hey, it's not Tua's fault. It's Eli Apple's fault.
I'm not blaming him, bro.
I mean, he had a terrible day, man.
Man, I gotta see what happened
against the Denver Broncos. You know, I'm sorry, obviously you weren't good enough to beat them, but the Denver Broncos are one of the worst teams in the league.
It went from being this high to this low in the span of 6 days. They face a trash team and then they face a real team and it goes like that.
I mean, the thing is, against Philly, it was a little different though. Against Philly, it was a little bit different. I feel like Tyreek Hill could have. Yeah. Tyreek Hill had himself. He didn't really have himself a good game, man. He had
that one touchdown where he dropped. Yeah.
Even though they got a pick 6 on the following possession on the defensive side, I mean, I feel like offensively, Tyreek Hill is the guy that gets it going for them, and he just didn't have it going that night. And also, I mean, a lot of people.
Oh, man, you're muted.
You're muted.
Still muted.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I think I'm back now. The one thing that was alarming for me from that Philadelphia Eagles game was just the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles had 0 penalties, and people were going back to that game, pulling up highlight after highlight of flag after flag. Like it just didn't make any sense. Like, how does a team go a full game without committing 1 penalty? Like it just didn't make any sense. So I just feel like, obviously that Philadelphia Eagles game, I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and scratch it. It was just a tough loss for the Miami Dolphins. But for that Bills game, I'm watching it because at the end of the day, it's a divisional game and it was on their home turf. I told you guys when they lost, they're gonna have to see them again in Miami. And we saw what they did to them last year against Miami in Miami. So I feel like the Miami Dolphins are still good. They're still right there. They do have an opportunity though to make a statement, as they go on the road to go to Germany.
They ain't got to worry about
if they lose to the
Chiefs,
man, dude, if they lose to the Chiefs, man, just know that narrative is gonna be crazy.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and L.H. now, that's overkill.